All right. All right. We are here. We are here. It's been a long time, but your brother's about to crank out some shows, whether you like it or not. Do one now. I may do one later on. Um, Later on tonight. Gonna do one on Father's Day on Get Your Hand in My Pocket Facebook. It's your main man, Mr. X. Get Your Hand in My Pocket. Here, giving you what you want, giving you what you need in the middle of the revolution, in the middle of the rebellion, where black minds are stratospherically waking up across the globe. Black people are whipping ass across the globe. Racist white statues are falling across the globe. Laws is being pushed across the globe. And we know it's all cannon fodder. I don't want my people to let up. I don't want my people to be like, damn, thank you so much, Mr. White Man. I greatly appreciate that. We don't want you doing that. We want you to continue to turn up. What's next? As my brother Jason Black says, what's next? What's next? What's next? Let's talk about this. Oh, let's talk about this. Oh, let's talk about this. Yeah, it's a great show on what our demands are. Great show. I've given several solutions because, Black Power people, we always talk about the problem, or we talk about religion, or we talk about the Bible, or did it exist, or dates and times and history and what we're made of and all that stuff, which is great information. It expands the universal mind. But at the same time, we want solutions so we can deal with our problems here on the planet Earth. On the planet Earth, from our flat Earth brothers. And I would say to you flat earthers, okay, the Earth is flat. Where's the end of it so we can push the white supremacists off of it? Once you come up with that plan, I submit to you, the Earth is flat. Okay, touchdown. Hey, boom. You do your little move, get your little gang signs and stuff. All right, so now, what we do about these white supremacists? Now we found out that the white folks was telling the truth, that the Earth is flat. Where's the end of it so we can throw them off? It's good. It's all good. But I don't like to try to not date these shows or whatever have you. But there's a lot of stuff going on nowadays. And one of the many topics of discussion is, and I guess I'm dating the show, but the NBA, should they continue playing? And historically, whenever there's a movement going on, whenever there's a discussion of the realities of this planet, this world, this society that we live in, the racial disharmony that's always been here, and it has put covers and cake soap and flour and dirt and rocks over top of it, hoping that we wouldn't break it apart and really see what's really happening around here. They immediately start looking around for a distraction. I was listening to brother Craig Hodges, one of the coolest brothers in NBA history, who was a woke brother. Ran with Dr. Khaled. I believe was what you would consider a Muslim. I don't think he actually belonged to the Nation of Islam. But he was a woke brother. And he had several powerful conversations with Michael Jordan. And I implore you, I don't support Vlad at all, but certain interviews, just like the Breakfast Club, I don't support that at all. But just like anything else, if there's pertinent discussion going on within the interview, then I'll check it out. I don't support Byron Allen at all, but we had a great discussion about the civil rights bill that he was fighting against, and then the racial disparities and the distribution of funds and how things really work in Hollywood. Because I've been saying that for a long time. They have these meetings, and certain people, power players, have these meetings and discussions, and that's where decisions are made. You think you made it on merit and morals? No. You go to a golf outing with a guy that you know, like this. That's what they always say. It's not what you know, it's who you know. This is how all these incompetent people have these jobs, and you like, yo, how did you get this job, dude? You don't know what you're doing. Well, he went to the golfing party, and he went to the pool party, and he did those things, and that's how he was able to get the job. When I was interning at a radio station, this is funny. Sound Off with Sync Off, local sports radio show I used to listen to all the time, and really sports, like the intricates of intricate, whether it be baseball, football, basketball, whatever league was in at the time that they were airing. Regular run-of-the-mill show. Went to the studio, basic stuff. Didn't go nowhere near the boards. But once I got there, I went there for the interview. He told me he was a Zombie fan, actually in one of his episodes. So I went there with the Dawn of the Dead book, the original book. And so I put it down there. I said, you can borrow that. I knew I was never going to get it back. But he said, oh, you like the Dawn of the Dead? Yeah, I'm a big Zombie fan and all that stuff, you know. And he was a big ball fan. I knew that too. And so I told him where I played in the conference, and he has familiarity with that. And he went to school around there or did some reporting around there. And, I was talking to him, whatever. So they kind of gave me the gig. I mean, it's volunteer work, so, you're not getting paid. But I kind of spaced out my hours based on the show. And I wanted to get, find out what they needed me to do, then go in and do it all the time. So they had this little thing where they would have athletes and factoids about the athlete, and you would get 5 chances to find out who were the athletes. One of those Guess Who. People love Guess Who games. No matter what you're doing, where you at, you need an icebreaker. Just do a Guess Who. Like, y'all like what? Y'all like movies? Do a line for movies. People love that stuff. You know what I'm saying? So I decided to do known athletes, but unknown facts. So I did Michael Jordan, Muhammad Ali, Kobe Bryant. I did people that everybody knew, mainstream, you know what I'm saying? And, I would put that information out there and stuff like that. And usually by the 5th fact you get to, you give the obvious stuff. 6-time NBA champion, 5-time MVP, greatest player of all time. Somebody calls in, oh, it's Michael Jordan. Wow. And they be like, wow. We had to get all the way to 5 to realize it's Michael Jordan. Wow, that was pretty good. And so my contributions, as I find out, with my consciousness, whenever Africans are involved in something, if they're the progenitors of it, it's great. If they're not, but they infuse their talents into a European creation, it makes it immediately better. And so eventually one day, it was 2008, I remember, big Cowboys fan, and he had me on. And so he didn't know I knew sports, and I had aspirations of being on the radio. Now, this is before the big, people were doing podcasts and stuff like this, but like everybody doing podcasts now. Anybody that got a voice, anybody got a microphone and a camera, turn it on and get to talking, and you get more views and influence and interest than mainstream media because they're pretty boring. You gotta lick some tail and lick some other things to get those gigs, and you ain't good at it at all. You know what I mean? And so we were talking about the Super Bowl, and I was breaking it down. I picked the Cowboys and the Chargers, and I felt in the Cowboys defense with their front 4 pass rush and their cover 3 defense, and that they wouldn't have to guard man to man so much and so on and so on. And I'm looking at these guys, and they all looking at each other like, wow, it's the intern. I'm an intern, I'm a big guy, but I had some basketball history and everything like that. But it's the assumption of the big dumb nigga would not be able to give a fluent, intelligent answer in a timely manner. So it's not like I'm trying to take over the show, because I knew if I had the opportunity to discuss sports with my personality, man, It'd go crazy. But you know, white folks control and dominate everything. So this little white guy who looked like Napoleon was not going to allow me to outshine him and take his job, even though because of white players, because of him being a white man, he didn't need that show to be successful. Because all these doors would open for him where they wouldn't open for me. So if I was to take this job from him, he would probably go on to something more lucrative. You know what I'm saying? But that being saying, I was an intern, I only worked like 20 hours. So I would do a couple hours, about 4 or 5 hours a week or whatever, just to extend my time there. And from there, he asked me a couple questions and went back to answering the phone. So I would answer the phones, click in, email to them, or text to them, name, city, and the discussion so that he would see it. And then, hey, we got Mark from Rensselaer, and you think the Yankees going to win the World Series? And they will come in and say, yeah, I really believe that we did. So I'm doing it. And as people are calling in, they talking to me. Now, there's 2 phones. They call in to the guy, the operator, so I can screen them, ask them a few questions, see if they ain't crazy. Then we connect the phone to the main studio. So I'm on the phones, and he comes in and is like, hey, man, I don't know about that Cowboys pick. Everybody kept challenging me. He's like, this Mark? And man, that was a good. I kind of feel what you're saying, man. So they talking to me like I'm the main host. So I just be like, whatever. And then, all right, where you from and everything. So the show can keep moving because it wasn't about me. I couldn't be back there yapping with them. You know what I mean? So, we never got political on that show. And I wasn't interested in politics anyway. I wanted to deal with the game and the intricacies of the game. Interestingly enough, I forget the guy, the dude, Dan Le Batard. It was a combination of things. Dan Le Batard kept talking about social justice issues every day on the show. Mike Brown had just been murdered, and the information in regards to racial disparity was coming specifically from ESPN. So I'm getting this food, a little bit of food to the guy. I'm not knowing the Negroes. I'm thinking Jason Whitlock is dope, Stephen A. Smith is dope. You know, these guys, because they're broaching the discussion and they're giving it information like and I'm getting hungry for more and more. And I'm going to Le Batard, and the Le Batard is a white Hispanic. His father's a white Hispanic. The crew are white. My man Bomani Jones, a thesaurus in and of itself, would break it down heavy. And so I would go to his show, and I would download certain shows and stuff like that so I can listen to it all day long while I'm doing my job. But I wanted more race stuff. I wanted more history. I started sliding away from sports. I was still watching, but I was sliding away from sports. Then I said, I got YouTube. Let me go to YouTube. Let me see what's going on. And boom, I'm hitting these Facebook videos and stuff, and I ran into this about Umar Johnson, one of his 30-second clips, and he just boom, boom, and I'm like, let me get some more. And so I went from there to listen to Umar Johnson, and that was it for a talk radio for sports. But through that awakening, you start to find out, you run into different other people that had lived the struggle. Your mind continues to expand, and you start finding out the social hierarchy, but the script that's being laid out in front of you, right? So you're dealing with things in the street. You getting it in. You do, you know what I'm saying? This Donald Sterling, he does his thing. Donald Sterling. This is during a few years where everybody was getting caught on tape being racist. It's like Danny Ferry, Donald Sterling, Hulk Hogan, all these white folks was getting recorded saying nigga, 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 nigga. And it was hitting mainstream airwaves, and there was a media backlash. And then all the players that played the part within this play played. PPPPP. You know what I'm saying? They would do their thing. The coons would come out and jump in defense. People would discuss Donald Sterling and his comments, and she said, were they false? Were they real? You know, and all the players would play their part. And then you would have the CNN discussion, and you have controlled opposition. You would have the Cornel West versus the racists, and then the liberals there, and all these different thoughts of theology. But Cornel West is controlled opposition, so he's speaking more for the black people. But he's an old man; he's been old for a very long time, and he's just one of their like puppet Negroes. They call Cornel West, they call Michael Eric Dyson, they call those two whenever you're discussing black in America. But they're never in the streets. They're not dodging bullets. They're not going to their aunt's house because their cousin got shot and they got to rush him to the hospital. They're not working in the hospital seeing these gun wounds. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the different children with different mothers, and they on opposite ends of the, you know what I'm saying? And then you go into a funeral and this, you know what I'm saying? You in the muck and the mire, you know what I'm saying? You really dealing with the stuff. And so why not you asking them? Because they're the real voices of black Americans. We're not talking about the middle class and upper class. They want nothing to do with us. And you don't show them. You show black people in America as poor, impoverished dogs, savages, because you control this narrative. Now we know, because they want us to believe, they want white America to believe and other black people to believe we are too far gone. We can't be saved. We can't have regular neighborhoods where there's no shootings and no da-da-da-da-da. They keep you focused on that stuff. And it's like, dude, you're depriving us of everything that human beings need to survive like human beings. Here, look at this example. Look at this example. Look at this example, which I've seen before. My father-in-law, my in-laws, my cousin, my mother, they all live in communities with a majority black, nice homes, beautiful land, all that. Just great. Got a little man-made pond. Awesome. You don't hear a gunshot. You don't hear nobody yelling because people got what they need. They got a home with space. They got land and yards where the children can play. They got nice schools because there's an economic base there. There's a tax base there. And the money's being distributed from another poor town into their town, but they don't really know how it works. They just know that it looks nice. They don't care how it works. Right? So they have a discussion. Black Lives Matter. Black communities on fire. Something's going on. We're having this discussion. Then the powers that be say, you know, we need a welcome distraction. Sports. Remember Trump was talking about sports. We got to have sports back. Sports has got to come back. We got to have sports. We need a distraction from everything that's going on in the middle of a pandemic. It's right for revolution. It's right for revolution. They know America's weak. So I look on the videos and Facebook videos. My man Luke, shout out to Uncle Luke, supported the Miami University Hurricanes. Told people you come into Miami to check in. Shout out to my brother, Big Homie, using the same language. There has to be an infrastructure created in the black community where we got to cut down on all these voices and kind of have one seminal voice. My brother, Aaron Terry Jenkins, said something very profound. He said we need a monarchy. One guy making a decision. Sink or swim at this point in time because we at war. And this has been done before in history where I keep thinking of the War Powers Act or things of that nature where the top head guy now has complete authority over nation's affairs at the time of this crisis. And once it's over and managed properly, then those powers will be stripped and the people will now have that voice. It's very difficult to have all that power and then say, hey man, you ain't got the power no more. We splitting this. I'm like, oh, and then that's when you have situations occur. But we want to get from under the thumb of white supremacy. So I'm down. But anyway, my brother mentioned in regards to, you know, how we should, you know, move forward in regards to the things that are going on now. And we know the establishment brings those very real distractions. Say sports. Let's get back to sports. So Luke is like, yo, if y'all don't see the stars and the moon and everything lining up, this thing is biblical for you all to boycott right now. That these are the next phases to keep these people on their knees because they've already taken financial hits and we can't help them. See, whenever white Americans or Europeans get some type of trouble. Shout out to the Moors who cleaned up Europe, because Europeans can never be somewhere by themselves and build something up real nice. They have to have the influx of melanin within their society. They must have it. It can be small, but it's there. They don't show you because they try to act like they can do everything on their own. They can't without the contributions of Africans. You see what I'm saying? So he said, we cannot, well, he didn't say that, but I'm saying this. We cannot help American wives on his knees. We must knock down that other knee so he comes down on just one knee. See, on two knees, you hit the other knee, so now we're down on one knee. But then we hit that knee down on his face. Just like we always are on the 12 o'clock news, we're on our faces with police over top of us talking about he's got a gun, boom, 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 boom. Come to find out, he never had a gun. What, Dr. Francis Wilson dealt with that in regards to the gun between your legs, which equates to white genetic annihilation, because we can duplicate ourselves with our gun in any womb we enter, and they can't. The recessive gene. They are the living embodiment of the recessive gene. And so our brother Luke, our dear brother Luke, who used to help out the Miami Hurricanes, he had this booty music and everything, and it was a sport of music. But what did he do with the money? He was around Miami Hurricanes at 25, 26 in his prime. He was doing his thing. But he was breaking them young brothers off who was broke, didn't have anything. So, hey, man, you get a good hit, I'll give you $50. You knock him out, I'll give you $100. Putting incentives. Now, white folks was like, oh, that's preposterous. We can't do that. Well, nigga, we got the idea from you. You was doing that with the Raiders in the 70s. You don't think we know about that? You don't think word got down to us? Y'all have these little documentaries and stuff, and people are expressing that this is what occurred. So we got the idea from you. Don't be going out on TV with your suit and ties, you still in line, motherfucker, and tell us we wrong for doing that when there's no reason why he should be having to do that anyway. They should be taken care of if they're making you millions of dollars, winning every damn game. And some of these brothers are still hustling because they ain't got no money. So Luke will look out for them. So shout out to Luke. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to be straight. When I go to Miami, you feel what I'm saying? I want to be straight. And that's what you do. Everywhere you go, you're like, yo, I want to come down to the community. I'm going to come down, see the people, bro. Can you make sure a brother's straight? You know what I'm saying? This is some of the things that we want to do. What you think? Is that cool? Or we just going to come and chill? You know what I mean? I like that. Probably shouldn't do that. You straight. All right, cool. Come on down. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up to the people. I know I'm straight. I know I'm straight. The word gets around. Yo, brother X, and you know what I mean? Him and his people down. They cool and everything like that. Just look out for them. Show them a good time and all that. This is what these white folks do. You know what I'm saying? We want to build with the people. The movement is for the African diaspora. You do it locally, but you want to spread this thing as far as it can go. So our brother Luke said, y'all shall boycott and sit out and don't play. Kyrie Irving, always an intellectual. Remember, he went to Duke. So he didn't go to Duke because somebody did his homework. He was intelligent, man. Raised by his father. Education was very important. Mamba mentality. One of Kobe's favorite players. I never really cared for Kyrie, but I know Kobe loved him and he loved Kobe. So he you know what I'm saying? He got a fan in me, especially after what he said. Brother said, man, we should sit out. He brought up white supremacy. He brought up African lives in the diaspora and their relationship to the dominant society. He was breaking it down. And then here come the attacks, the coons. You got the big Kendrick Perkins coon who's terrible. But he made it obvious what he wanted to be. Because he sucked as an NBA player. Sucked. And was only in the league because you had Shaqs and you had Andrew Bynums. But once they were gone, bro, you're useless. Because Andrew Bynum was on the Lakers. So as a team you can possibly meet in the finals. And then you had Shaq that's still in the league that even to the end of his career can get you 12-7. So it's like, we need you for him and then with Dwight Howard, Pau Gasol. But after they kind of got, old and Dwight got hurt and it was like, we don't really need you no more because you can't make a basket in the empty gym. So with his experience in the NBA and the information he's got, I want to call this dude. I don't like to call black people dumb, but they ain't the smartest dude in the room. But he got stories, and he's willing to come with information, inside information that reporters sometimes see, or they always see, that they don't report on, because it's like, I'm not going to be dealing with that. Some do, and it makes it harder for them to get into the room, and so they end up messing up their own career, like Sam Smith. Sam Smith did that tell-all book on the Jordan rules, and it severely hurt his career. Because Jordan was like, fuck him. I don't want ever to see him in none of my press conferences. You know what I mean? Because he was an opportunist. He was a white man who was an opportunist. You know, you're dealing with what black people are doing with other black people. It's none of your concern. Report about what the management is doing to the players. He reported that, but that didn't hurt his career. It was Jordan that was upset. Now, it didn't hurt Jordan's career now. Then, and they try to take shots at it now. You never will. Jordan, like Craig Hodges said, is the creation of white supremacy, just like I am, just like you are, and your family members. But in any case, Perk is willing to give up information that you ain't supposed to give up. The whole thing with LeBron James and Paul Pierce not liking each other, which is good for the game, but not for where we're going as a people. That needs to be remedied, absolutely. But it made for great basketball. Because finally there was somebody, one wasn't scared of LeBron James and didn't want to be his friend. The thing is, Paul was already in his prime. And LeBron is 19, 20 years old. LeBron is a force at that age. So you gotta give it all to play against this guy. And Paul is like, I ain't got but 2 years to be able to compete with this kid. And then after that, I'm gonna need a whole lot of help. I'm gonna need like 2008 series against each other was unbelievable. Paul, LeBron, they going at each other. By 2010, Paul was through. Needed a whole lot of help. Luckily, he had Rajon Rondo, who did his thing. But I'm bringing that up to say Kendrick Perkins told a story about Paul Pierce spitting at the Cavaliers bench in LeBron's rookie year, and so that's why they hate each other, because you spit. It's like, oh man, that's the But I'm sure there's some layers to the story, but the spitting thing is really dubbed. T.O. had a situation like that. Terrell Owens with D'Angelo Hall, he spit in his face or something like that, and that got real bad. But Deion Sanders was able to come in and remedy that, which is good. There's some of the things that they don't tell you about Deion Sanders. But in any case, Perkins willing to give up this information. So he attacked Kyrie and Dwight Howard, who, if you remember in 2009, Minister Farrakhan, shout out to the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, he dealt with this in regards to Howard saying free Palestine in 2009 in a tweet. And then like 30 seconds later, he retweeted, I'm sorry about what I said. I'm not anti-Semitic. I should never have talked about political issues, and I never will. He bowed down completely. That was the year they went to the finals. So he was a star in the league, dunk champion, and it was like, who was a real Superman, him or Shaq? And, Shaq was still better than him as a player, but they kind of hyped the thing up and everything. He kind of believed his own hype. But it was great for theater. But he's part of leading the charge of protesting and not playing. And there's reports of if guys sit, they won't get paid. So this seems to be where the movement is heading. More attention is going to be paid to this. And I say to the players and all the players that are playing, do not play. I love it. We've talked about this for years. The league is scheduled to restart in July. And you have a great opportunity to change the course of history, because now that stance is definitely reaching the hood, and it gives people like me who are in the hood, I ref in the hood, okay? Foul calls don't go their way, I'm right directly in front of them. I'm right there, okay? I'm right there. Fights, breaking up fights, kid running to his bag to get them things because he got stomped on in the middle of a game. Fights breaking out. I mean, whole haymakers being thrown. I'm in the hood, bruh. So y'all make that stance. It makes it so much easier, because that's an alley-oop to us. We take that as an alley-oop Magic Johnson, Jason Kidd, LeBron, whoever you want to say it is, as an alley-oop to grassroots organizers, conscious men, to now go to those young folks because they're going to get that message. Because we may speak in the high science that they don't understand, but the game has always been a way to make that social discussion more relevant utilizing basketball, right? I can still play a little bit. I'm old. I'm retired. I'm trying to get out of retirement. The pandemic hit, messed up my comeback. You know what I'm saying? Your boy was coming. I was just getting right. Pandemic hit. But man, I would love for those rims to come up. The kids come back to the courts. Simultaneously, the league stops. Players boycott. It starts with the stars. It starts with Kyrie. It goes to Dwight. Instead of the kneeling, they're not playing. They're on the bench. Dwight, go in. Good. It puts more pressure because eventually they're going to look at LeBron because LeBron has done more social active work than anybody in the league combined. So they're like, bro, you the man, you the cap of the NBA. What you gonna do? Oh, we got him. We got him. Now we take that message to the streets. You see this, young fellas? This is what we're gonna do. What's the end game? I'm gonna tell you the end game right now. Our own league. We got all the talents. Nobody wants to see white boys play all day. No one wants to see it. No one wants to see it. They come to see you. Now you get a political education. You get an economic education. Let your entourage, your boys in the street, we can get work for them where they don't have to be on the street. We don't need R.I.P. Lil Nuck Nuck, 14 years old, but he was built like a soldier, in the streets like a soldier, and died as a fool. Because we didn't give him what he needed to channel that Nat Turner, Gabriel Prosser energy. That energy, the Makai Johnson energy, the revolutionary energy, to where it needed to be to fight for his community as opposed to against it. So now the NBA players have an amazing opportunity to thrust themselves in this movement. It's going different directions. They're trying to grab the narrative and change it. This is when the NBA players say, no, we boycotting police terrorism on black bodies, the same as Colin Kaepernick. People looking back at Colin Kaepernick like maybe he was right for taking his stance the way he did. And you don't look back at Cap. You're supposed to jump on it and ride with it. We did a show on Cap, or we did a show on black management, the lack of black management in the NFL. You can bring them to their knees. You have to control the entirety of the narrative, the solution. You have to control the entirety of the solution. Because we've been given the game on how they give us things and then take them back. We'll give it to them a couple years, bit by bit. We'll start removing some of those parameters and things like that. And before they realize it, 5 years later, all the things that we gave them is gone. My brother, my good brother Malik talked about when Dr. King was assassinated and the rebellions went around all across the United States. He said people with 501c3s who wanted funding and grants would go in halfway filled out, ketchup stains, dog saliva, baby poop, handed it in, they was getting improved. Because they had to put out this fire. So to put out fire, you give people resources. Oh, you got this program? You got the program? You got a program? All right, 5,000, 5,000, 10,000, 5,000, 10,000. And now they set to work on their programs and things die down because they have to get to work. If we had the Capitol protesting and buildings is burning down and traffic is being stopped and white folks are nervous because they're getting rolled up on, getting bumped on, and there's fights in the streets and the shootouts and the police are in danger and white folks are in danger, that's because we got time to do it. But here, resource, money. Get to work on your projects. You can't be in the streets protesting. You can't be at the Capitol. You can't be bumping into white people. You got to get to work on your project. Go ahead. So you take your children here and you feed them there and you do that and everybody get fat and lazy and all that stuff. Before you know it, 9 months later, everything is calmed down. But the system of oppression hasn't changed. It hasn't stopped. It hasn't been destroyed. So on those basketball across the United States, you have to think about, hey, what is going to be your contribution to the destruction of this current society that believes in racial domination? There is going to be a fight back as it is now. There's been attacks on Juneteenth. There damn sure going to be attacks on July 4th. With black people partying. White folks partying is going to get the high-grade military weaponry that they have. And we have to get our high-grade military weaponry, shout out to Chicago, that they've given us. Yeah, that they've given us to fight back. They don't give you guns if they know you're going to shoot them. They giving it to the crazy and insane as backwards niggas that they can find. Yes, take these weapons here and you grab it. I can't wait to kill a nigga. Shout out to my brother Nicky Black. He put up this profound post about this brother having certain weapons to protect himself. And he said, yeah, also you got those weapons to protect your family and your community from the white supremacists, right? That's attacking us. He said, nigga, I got this for niggas that hate on my style, my lifestyle. What my bitches, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They try and pose on me. So I got some guns for them niggas. Meaning I got weapons just to kill black men. That's all I want to kill. That's all I want to shoot. I don't care about nothing else. I got these visions of grandeur in my mind. I'm lying to myself. You know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, women, you can't control women. If they dig you, they dig you. If they don't, they don't. They can sleep with you, him, her. It doesn't matter. There's nothing you can do about it. But you won't get upset and take that gun and kill another nigga. It's never stopped. It's never worked. The gun has never worked. It's never worked. It's worked not as conflict resolution, but as complete and utter dominance. And to maintain dominance. And to dominate other people. As we are getting dominated today. So no more NBA. No more. No more. Kobe. Do it for Kobe. The Mamba mentality. When Kobe hit the shot and he was doing this and everything like that in 2008. You can see the rage and fire in him. Stop raving mad coon, but he was a great basketball player. And I tell you what, the one contribution that Kobe Bryant made to black lives, the Mamba mentality. Every story about Kobe is about his hard work. And our young boys can definitely benefit from the example that he showed. Not just his game when you saw him on the court. Every person that's in a personal interaction with Kobe Bryant talks about his work ethic. Getting up at 4 or 5:30 in the morning. I'm going to tell that story about my wife. My wife gets up at 5:30. We got a baby that's 2 months old. Okay? My wife gets up at 5:30 in the morning to work out. 5:30 in the morning to work out. She works out 2 or 3 times a day. She said, honey, I want to work out. All right, go ahead. I got the babies. I detest working out. My thing is this right here. I listen to conscious information about this society all day long. 12, 13, 14 hours. Already an orator, but giving information so that I can awaken my people. I'm the people person. I like to be amongst the people and dealing with the people. I love to organize. It's exhausting. It's easier, obviously, to have a ball, get 15 guys together, and we can ball out all day long. But to get 15 men to organize. Whew. This is why we got churches all over the place. But they don't organize. They suck the people within this religion that just keeps them stagnated and things are going on in the society. They just pray to Jesus. Listen to the testimonial. Pray to Jesus and the thing. And I'm baby, my left toe was hurting. And I woke up one day and it fell off and I couldn't find it. But Jesus, I said, Jesus, please help me find my toe. And Lord, don't you know my cat had my toe 15 minutes later playing with it, just looking with it. And I took that toe from that bad cat and I rushed her to the hospital. And Jesus himself came down from the altar in the sky from heavens and put my toe back on. I just want to thank you, Jesus, so much. No matter how much we suffer, we give the credit to Jesus. Why should someone get credit for you suffering? And so it doesn't matter. When we get to the intricacies of why our children are murdering themselves and they believe this ball is going to be their salvation. And then with that ball comes all these underlining deals that need to be made. Hey, son, come over here. You're an amazing basketball player. I seen you dunk from the foul line. Michael Jordan never done that. LeBron James never done that. Vince Carter's never done that. You can do it. Amazing. You're going to the top. Just a few things that we want to cover. We want to give you $100 million. You can buy a lot of Gucci with that. You can buy a lot of Chanel with that. You can buy a lot. Prada. You can buy it. Hey, you can be the spokesperson for Chanel. When you like that, you'll be on commercials, pictures with the models, Becky's, Karen's, Jessica's, Danielle's. We have it all for you. We have it all. Be your face. Hey man, what up? Can I own stock? Stock? You don't want to own stock? Nah, you don't own stock in nothing. You want to be the front person. That's what you want. I'm telling you what you want. You don't know what you want. I'm telling you what you want. Jarwasian gonna be in the air like boom. And you're gonna play for the Bucks with Antetokounmpo, and y'all just gonna be throwing each other alley-oops. Boom, boom. Because he's a little older than you, right? So once he starts to retire and he may leave because of his contract disputes, whatever like that, we can give you $100 million. You're going to Milwaukee. It's gonna be dope. Then we trade you to LA. The last 6 years, you're gonna be in all the movies. You win championships. Chilling with Magic Johnson. Huh? It's this ball, but there's some things you can't do. You can't ever go back home. Can't go back home. Can't have your homies with you. Bad for corporate sponsoring. See, Chanel and Gucci, they're gonna have you out in Europe all the time, man. You're gonna be in Italy and stuff like that. You can't be around black people. You can't. I seen you at syrup sandwiches and jelly. It's sad the way you used to live, but what you can do is get your mama a house out in Wine and Scale. Very nice place, very quaint. Get him a house out there, white picket fence and stuff like that. We got you, man. We got you. We'll hook that up. As soon as you sign the contract, it'll just start moving. Watch the movie Blue Chips. That's how stuff really works. They don't make movies like that no more. They was hitting on some hard edge stuff. The Program and Blue Chips came out right after one another, talking about college basketball. College basketball. What do you want? White boy walked into the locker room, said a white blue chip athlete like myself, meaning I'm white and I can play basketball at a high level. That means my asking price is way more than the Shaquille O'Neal that you got over there that is just easily the most dominant player in the history of basketball. But he not white. So I want $50,000. Shout out to Shaq for being the one dude that said, I don't want nothing. I'm good. I'm just going to dunk on niggas. But he went in there and look, I want 50 G's. You hear me? 50 G's in cash. And all that stuff my dad said about go watch Blue Chips. About the factory and the church and all that stuff and all the stuff you want. Make sure you deal with that too. But I want 50 G's in cash in a gym bag. In one of them ULA gym bags or whatever college this is. Give me a gym bag with the money in there and I'll sign your contract. And that's what happened. Because that's how it works. They have networks, resources that we don't have. You got a lawyer here. You got a legislator here. You got a philanthropist here. You got a CEO here. You got a chief of police there. And so when you get into trouble, when you're white, you can make phone calls and they can clean it up for you. Because in Jim Bob is a police officer and he hates niggas. But he's your cousin. So he kills a nigga and he calls you and you got to clean it up. That's how white supremacy works. It's a network. So while we eating syrup sandwiches, this is what they're doing. Making 2 o'clock phone calls to a mansion. And Vincent, you killed another nigga, didn't you? It was a routine traffic. I swear it was a routine traffic stop. It was a routine traffic stop. I swear the nigga had a gun. Joe Bob, this is the fourth time you swore. Never mind. Okay, all right. Let me call the chief. I'll get right on it. All right. I'm tired. I'll call him first thing. Thank you so much, Vincent. Thank you so much, man. I'm sorry about this. They hang up the phone and they get to work to cover it up. That's how that shit works. And that's only one way. That's only one of the several ways they do this. And now we got them. Now we got the power. They were scared to death of this. Now we have the power. NBA, which now puts pressure on the NFL. Or my revolutionary brothers that were standing with Cap during that time and stayed and held fast. Now, the baton gonna be passed to you. Ain't no brothers in the MLB, so they gonna play. But ain't no brothers. All them brothers is Caribbean, so they like, we're not with them. Oh, we're not with them. I Puerto Rican. Oh, I Puerto Rican. I'm freaking Rican. I'm Hispanic. I'm white Hispanic. I don't know him. I play ball. So we got football and basketball. That's all we got. So let it reopen. Ask the questions, Mr. White Reporter. Dwight Howard, keep talking, brother. Keep talking. See, you can make amends with the people for the mistakes that you made prior to. See, that heaven that we're talking about is that energy that doesn't die. There ain't no heaven. That you get an opportunity to come back to a human vessel and continue to struggle so that people can live and breathe free. I gotta go, y'all. No more basketball. Boycott the NBA. It's your brother, Mr. X. Get your hand out my pocket. Please share. Please share. I know I gotta do more shows. I've been saying that for like 3 or 4 years. Help a brother do that. DeQuinn Mr. X on Facebook. SoundCloud.com/GYHOMP. That's SoundCloud. Go to the podcast there. Go to the Facebook page. Get your hand in my pocket. I'll probably be dealing with Father's Day on the Get Your Hand in My Pocket channel. Y'all be cool. Check out the Cash App. Go through the channel. $, Mr. X R, capital M, capital R after the X. It's weird. I'll put it right here. Cash $. Did I put it? Well, put it here. Oh yeah, where we at? There it is. Put it in the chat. I'm the only person commented. Oh my God. But I gotta be more consistent. I'll be on Blackout Fire probably later on tonight. If my brother's on, he send me the link or I'll be able to call in. I'm on that show as well. When I get the opportunity to. Shout out to Sister Nepal Sadar. She had a brother on the show. She goes live sporadically, so I never really know when she's going live. But we had some great conversation there. Get into the conversation. DM your brother. I will respond. When the influence arises, I want to do help for the community. I want to work specifically for the community. Imagine, as Frances Cress Welsing, she asked a young boy in the 70s, why don't you want to be a revolutionary and freedom fighter and help your people? And the 9-year-old black boy said, well, they killed them. I don't want to do that. And so we have to revisit that conversation and tell them, yes, that's very true. Freedom fighters often die. But I'm going to give you this history anyway. And after I'm done giving it to you, you'll want to be nothing else. Stop giving them balls and giving them freedom. And give them freedom. Peace.